Well, hello, and welcome. This is Julie with the Jewel Design. And we are here today. We are going to work on some of that ephemera that we worked on last week. Saturday was a huge amount of packaging and extra papers and getting ephemera put together for the Garden Stroll Secretarial, right? Journal on this side and a lovely interactive flip out on this side. So I made sure everything got covered, everything's decored. We got some really pretty pieces in here. Where I started adding bits and pieces. I still have a lot of work to do. This lets you be writable. There's a journal card. We're going to work on the one for here, and this top one, the back here. This one, doesn't need much, but it'll be fun to do little things. But I figured some fun pieces I hadn't expected. I was finishing up and I was like, oh, I've got ideas and I want to share with you how we're going to decorate those. So we'll see what else we can do. But yeah, we'll keep it. It's a Tuesday, it's sort of middle of the week or early week, so we don't want to get too much. But isn't this great? I put foam underneath it, lace underneath it, give it some dimension, and I love how it sort of pokes up a little bit right there. And then this side. Now, I did realize I went to look to see, and I have nothing of the Garden Stroll ephemera cut out. Nothing is left, which is so sad. I have no idea where I probably did in many projects and there's nothing left. So I will have to go print out when I get more ink. Oh, guys, maybe that's the thing. Maybe we'll show you how to use digital ephemera. When you buy a digital kit from any of these lovely Etsy shops, including my own, how to utilize maybe different ways to utilize the pockets and tucks and things that you get in a digital kit. So maybe that'll be Saturday's project. Because Thursday, I think, is going to be a show and tell of some new stuff that's finished, things like that. So Thursday won't be too much. It's a weird part of the week. People are getting started in the weekends trying to get stuff done, but we want a nice Saturday video. So maybe that's what Saturday will be how to utilize a digital kit in the book, in the ephemera. But I had to get that printed out. So hopefully, fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen, that my ink cartridges show up for the new printer tomorrow. God, fingers crossed. So yeah, so I want to work on some of that. So I put it aside, start gathering items, and wanted to work on it. Now you have to forgive the sort of bright colored mess over here. What happens when you have kids of weird ages and all you have is, funny Band-Aids. But my hand was collateral damage between two cats the other night. I was working on orders. I was taking a few minutes to eat something while I'm watching TV because my daughter brought me food. And, I had one cat off to the side, and she's the little fluff ball, fierce little thing. And the black and white was roaming around the yard, and he kept wanting to jump up to the table, and I kept, no, stay down, no, stay down. Well, the third time I said no, he jumped up anyway, which is fine. He comes to go give me a headbutt. Little Keekers, he's over here, I'm here. He's coming up here to give me headbutts. She's over here and decides that is not okay and lunges at him. So I have food in front of me. There's a printer, two cats. I have orders, thankfully small ones, sort of laid out, and I'm trying to keep my food from going anywhere, the two cats to go attack and me to get attacked, so I must have put my hand out to stop. And yeah, I've got scratches here, puncture here. Gotta love the cat. So it doesn't blend with my project, so sorry guys. I'll try to keep it out of the video, but that's sort of hard to do, right? We have to use our hands, so that's what that's about. I'm like, oh man, and I had to go write and work on orders, so I needed the cushion to not have that rub raw. I was like, man. Anyway, nails are a disaster, but not too shabby. I'm trying to grow out and let the gels, sort of flake off on their own and file them, so that I'm replacing them with nail polish. I found this new botanical nail polish is supposed to be great, but I don't know. It's I'm still putting a keratin nail polish underneath to try to give them some stability. But these are brand new and newly de-gelled, and they're soft, so we'll see. So forgive all the messes that you see, but hey, this is what we do when we're active and we're happy, right? We're going to start with this one first, I think, because it's sort of cute and has all these little pieces, and then we're going to turn a lightweight journal card, which is great because we have a very tiny pocket. We're going to get some stuff underneath it. And make that a nice horizontal card. It tucks in vertically, but we're gonna decorate it horizontally, so you could write on both sides and all that jazz. So I hope you're all doing really well. Where am I at? Right here. I am right in the beginning. So I'm going to bring this down, put this up, so I know to stay sort of middle. So I want to use what I wanted to do, and I think when we were looking at the pages, this did cut a little tighter than I wanted, but I wanted to put faux flowers in here sticking out of the urn. And then I found this lovely yarn. It's in teals and greens, and I wanted to put it under to sort of hide the fact that our flowers are going to get tucked, make it look like moss, right, in the top of the urn, and tuck our flowers in, which will stick out a little bit, which is fine too. So with some ink like this one, Timeless Crochet for You, you know, I have a bunch of her flowers still, which I'm really stoked about, but I think I'm going to have to put some green. I don't know if I need to put some green on the back of this one, so if in case it sticks out, we don't have a solid, perfect cut. Got a little bit more ink on the back. I pulled a couple different flowers. I can't make them too thick or stick up too much because it is going into an envelope pocket, but that envelope does have some give, which is great. It's not a super tight pocket. But I was thinking we're going to take a bunch of paper, different types of, like, it looks like a, not crepe, but what is it? A nice little crinkly, lightweight flower. One a little, you know, they're all different paper flowers. And this one has glitter on it, and I'm sort of hate to cover it up, but I think I want to enhance it. I needed a little bit more vintage. It's a little bright for me. Everything's a little brighter and contemporary than I'd like. Contemporary. I don't think that's a word, but that's okay. So, as it says, it's what, Pearls and Lace and Flowers Oh My is the title today, and it definitely was what we're using, right? Plus our fussy cuts and whatever. We're gonna definitely middle. Now I'm using this one. It's not sticking up on its own. We're actually gonna carefully try to cut it in half and use it as a backing, and then we're gonna take all these other guys and stick them on top. That is my thought process there. We're gonna bring this down just a little bit with the. I mean, it's a good thing about the vintage photo. It just sort of helps bring down that brightness, even a pastel bright, just a little, because things aren't perfectly, yeah, nothing is very modern in here. It's very beautifully with the book pages and the texture and the, I think, wood. I have like a teal wood, and I have all this stuff going on. So that one, I think I'm going to do pink. Let's see if that works better. A little bit of both. This is very white, and I'm like, no. We need more, we need color in that. I couldn't find, I mean, I found that pink one. I was hoping to find a flat paper pink, and I didn't have one. I had the right pink, but not the right size. So we're just going to ink this down so it's not so white, because this is definitely not a white. What we could do is actually I might put a little bit of antique in the middle, even though this is going to go in the middle. And I do have to put a rhinestone or a pearl or something in the middle. These all have little rhinestones, so I got to see if I have a pink or something rhinestone to put in the middle of that one. I do have some dots, but I think the dots are too big. Where do they go? And they're not down there. I have some things. I just don't know if they're too big or too little. Oh, pretty. Well, it's too much. Too pink on pink, white, and dark pink. It's a little big compared to the rest, but that might be what makes that one unusual. So I've got the potential of that. If not, because I know I have blue, I know I have pearl. I don't think I have. Oh, I have diamond. Oh, wait. I have clear. I have clear ones. Oh, they're rainbowishy. So here we go. We have these. Let's put one of those in the middle. There we go. So it matches. This one has a white in it, so we'll do the same thing. Okay. Glue. Oh, wait. I said ink in the middle of that one, huh? Just a little. So, yes, it is decorating day using, you know, what we have in our stashes. You just saw. Whoops, that did not. See, I really shouldn't do that. I need to learn to remember to grab my little things. See if I can get some ink in there. That's all right. I'll just force it as if it's meant to be. It's all good. Put this in the middle and put it was just in case it showed it had different tone. And we can turn it a little bit to where we know exactly where it is. I hope you're all doing well on this beautiful Tuesday. Nice little Tuesday afternoon, hopefully, for everyone. Now, I won't put the gem in the middle until we know where it's going, so that in case it moves or bends, I don't pop it off. But yeah, I hope all you guys are all doing well this Tuesday morning. It's one of the last of our potentially almost 70-day weather. We've had up to 73 in the past week. So I cut this in half so we can go right here. Now it is foamy, and it has a foam piece in the middle, which is a little bit of a bummer, which is why this will help if we glue it up against it, hide that fact. But that definitely is a lot. I don't really want the foam. I really want it flatter than it is. So I'm going to sort of I am probably pulling this apart a little bit, right? I know there's that to give you that beautiful look. And I don't need it, though. I wonder if I could slice it. Oh my God, I'm wondering if I can slice any of it off. I don't want to completely pull it apart. I really don't, but see if we do this without causing any more harm, right? Without giving myself any more cuts on this poor hand. Because I do cut with my right hand most of the time. Occasionally I do left if I'm doing really, really precise work. And I'm trying to, there we go. Let me see something here. I'm trying to see if I can pull a little bit of this. It's just so full. It's so thick and stands up too much for me. I want it in the background. It's not for height. Height is coming from the other guys if I really wanted to do that. Plus, I can't have it stick up too much because it really is going to get a little caught in everything. Let's see if we can do this very carefully. Very carefully. I've had these for a while too, and I'm surprised they're sticking together as well as they are. I really thought they would probably fall apart, but I guess it's a good thing that they don't. That gives tried and true testament. It's amazing, right? Today, if I bought something like this, it probably would come apart. Isn't that sad? So, there we go. I wanted to... Oops, wrong way. Yeah, I just wanted to thin it out so maybe it wasn't so much. I will glue it back together. That it wasn't sticking out as much. Because I feel like it's really high. On my end, I'm looking at it and I'm like, that is really high up. And so that's really not helpful when I want it as a background. Now, I'm loving that some of these flowers will stick up. Eek. Come on, glitter glue. Then in the end, yes, the stickers will stick up some, but not perfect. Where's the offset? There we go. Oh, I have to move it over. Okay. Like, what happened to the offset? There we go. Hold. Close enough. There we go. So there we go. That's better. See, that doesn't stick up. It's hard to tell on here, but it doesn't stick up as much. And I wanted this in the background so that when we had the flowers here, however I put them, there's a little something behind them. So these weren't just perfectly flat on. And I might have to decide when I'm done, trim some off. So we'll put these up a little higher maybe. So I don't mind the fact that this is sitting here. So on the back side, you will see the back of the flowers. I think that's sort of cool. But they're hopefully too, they're not so bulky that really you can still write on them, on everything too. So that's not the problem of taking that off. It is definitely what's in between. Let's see what we can do here. So I got that off, which is, ooh, almost. Almost. There we go. There we go. Maybe. All right. But yeah, I'm hoping to do today too, besides a multitude of videos, is getting a bunch of crafts done. So today was becoming my crafty day. Besides doing greenery this morning, weather's good. So I thought, well, let's do the last day because, like I said, it's been 72, 73, 70. Today's only be about 68, so it was a little colder this morning. Went for a walk with a friend. We're trying to get back into walking while the weather still holds, and then we'll have to take a break, and then we'll have to get back to it again. But we're trying to get back into walking, and hopefully the oldest will join us once she's back in school. Maybe she'll get up into the swing and we can get her to walk with us so that she can get up and get moving and then then do her online classes, right? But so I tried to do that, and I did the yard this morning, and so now it's like, okay, let's do some crafting and then take a shower and get cleaned up and do more crafting. And so yeah, I had to get some crafting. I have a couple projects I want to get done so I can show you guys on Thursday. There might be a small craft project on Thursday. I don't know. I don't really know what else to do. I know you guys are going to get tired of this, but I think the next time you see this will be one more Saturday project. I think I like the idea of doing a digital side. We've done the make it from scratch with what you have. Now let's do the, hey, if you were given a digital kit or you bought a digital kit, what to do with it. So we'll definitely, I'll definitely put that together so you can see, you know, what is good. So I'll put that. It won't be much of a, it's not so much a tutorial, just a how-to kind of deal. Because a lot of you might be new to my shop, or new to me, or new to junk journaling in general, and you happen to catch me or find me. And, well, you've been with me for a while, and maybe I've changed gears or how I use things, and you haven't caught it in a while, and, you know, it's time to refresh memories, and maybe I try to come up, even with my own stuff, I try to come up with new ways to use it, because I don't always feel like, even within my own ephemera that I create, that it should only be used the way it was printed, right? Layer it up differently. I'm going to move these out just a little bit, too, so that we can, I think, I don't want it to go beyond the card, but there we go. because I want to do, I think we're going to do this one here, and we're going to do this one over here, and we've got this one here. So I can either spread it out, and you see the yellow in between. I really don't want, if I want that perfect. I mean, I would like a little bit more offset, but 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a 5th one, don't I? I need a 5th something. A little one. Let's see if we can find a little one. Maybe we can do another. Oh, I see a pale blue teal, a tealy blue. Maybe we can do that. Right. So it's 2 and, you know, white and that, yellow. There we go. Something a little. I wish I could figure out how to do things more off and still look pretty. I have the hardest time with that. Hold on, I see a possibility. I wonder if we can do it like this. Oh, that looks so much better. Oh, that's so cute. It's still a little contemporary. That white is sort of throwing me off, but we need to have some different things in here and not be perfect. So I think we will do a little bit more. I know I put pink on there, but I feel like we need to go a little bit more tone. I don't like the white at all. The white's too much. So let's cream it up. We're going to use it as a, there we go. We're going to do that. That's better. Okay. So here we go. This is what we're going to do. Now, it is, well, it's okay to go over, I guess, because flowers bloom up and over. No one says they're perfect. I know I was going to do this. If I glue them in the middle, then I can probably tuck this up underneath to give it that sort of mossy feel or mossy look. And that might work. Of course, I love it just where it is. Definitely changed the look of the card and the coloring and gives new life to this whole thing. I could put a word in the middle here. I don't have a lot that I need to find some more blue ones that are horizontal. I have, the word grease sounds so fun. Glamping. This is my vacation one, and so it's a little vintage spring works. Blossom is really cool, but it's vertical, not horizontal. I would like the word blossom this way would be great. And I have a square, but it feels like it'd be really small right here. So I'd be like right underneath the word blossom would be right here. Maybe we might do that. I wish that was a bigger horizontal one, and not such a, you know, vertical one. But if we were doing something lower on the flowers, then I would use the vertical one. But no, not quite. So okay, we'll work on that. So, all right, you know me. I hate to move anything because I always feel like I have the perfect blend, and then I move everything, and I never get it back exactly where I had it. And it's such a bummer. I'm so nitpicky about that. It's weird. It's my own little. So I'm just gonna sort of go middle right now, so that it does have some room underneath. So I can tuck something in, and then I can tighten up wherever I feel I need to. Yeah, that one I went over, because then that one was going to go over. Let's see if we can do that a little tighter. See if everything moves real quick. Ugh. But see, I end up either too tight or too... I did it with my journal the other day, my happy planner. I went to hand place everything back down from where I had it, and didn't leave it on the mesh and try to roll it off, or off the wax paper. I didn't roll it off, and sort of kicked myself because I ended up bunching it up too far and I didn't have enough all the way to the bottom. I was like, oh. And actually, I might move that because that ended up being clustered lower than I thought. And so I think I may put that up there. I think so. Yeah, no, everything changes. You see it, you place it, you're like, well, not quite. Let's do this. That's fine. But I'm glad I put these in the background. And they're 2 different heights and stuff. It's great. I do a little more inking in the back. And it's just this little thing that's sticking up. Super cute. There we go. Now, here's the fun part, and this is where we want the Fabri-Tac, I think. Which I have it on its side ready to go, which is great. So what I want to do, let's see if I can get, without gluing these down by accident, I'm trying to get everything lifted and get glue in there, quite a bit of glue, so that I can just take this and zhuzh it up. That does not belong there. No. And then we'll trim it down. If I sort of wanted this mossy feel with using the colors, I had to go looking for some of our other laces. I wanted a blue lace, but I have either country blue or I have like sage green, and this is a teal. This is very much a blue teal. A lot of, you know, these colors. And so I did find sort of one of our baby blue florals that worked. I was like, okay, for the other one of our other cards. I was like, oh, I forgot we had that. I'm like, don't we have? And I'm like, oh, wait, we do. So glad to find little scraps. I go and measure out ends of bolts, and I'm like, oh, yep, there's what I need. I'm always loving when there's a little bit left of something I can use. All right, so there we go. Isn't that adorable? So we got to put our little, what's it called right there? Our rhinestone. Where is it? It's bright orange. You would think I wouldn't lose this as much as but we do have this beautiful, even thicker, like chenille yarn that I found in my stash. I was like, oh, so that might be fun to add to something too. A little poofy, but we can glue it down a little bit. I was looking for lace and I found this stuff, so I'm loving it. So cute. Let's see. So let's do a little bit of extra glue both on the card and on the yarn and the flowers, just to sort of get everything to tighten up, make sure everything stays glued together. There we go. And actually I need it. I don't think there's any glue on the rhinestones. I mean, there is and there isn't. There's this tiny little specks that keep it on there, right? I need to find the right size though. Those are way too big. And I feel like it's the same size as that, so no, I guess it's not. I guess it's fine. Yeah, they don't have a lot of sticky left on the back. I'm just enough to keep them on these sheets, barely. I wouldn't be surprised if I find them, ouch, later. So that's why I'm like, nope, we'll add the new. And that one has it too. So we got 3 with silvery colors, and one with yellow, one with beige, one with teal. So there we go. Ta-da! These have a little bit of things on the back. I guess we'll just keep to the antique-ish. I don't want them to be too perfect. Why do I feel like I have somebody in my house that shouldn't be in my house? I've got a cat that keeps wandering in that shouldn't be wandering in. So give me 1 second. I'm so sorry, guys. Hold on. I'll be right back. You won't even know. Okay. No, it wasn't cats. I heard a thunk, but I wasn't sure what it was. But we do have a leak in the cul-de-sac, I think I mentioned last time. And so, maybe not. I don't know. It was Saturday. And did I do a video? I did a video first Saturday. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, we have a lake in the cul-de-sac, so it's a problem. So, yeah, they're finally working on it. So, oh, I love that, guys. Okay. Isn't that... Oh, the word. Let's cut it and see what it does, right? Let's see. Yeah, but I have some blue, beige, and pink vacation words. But I was looking for it was more the coloring. So some of these do work. I don't know if I have the vacation words. I think I saw the vacation words up in the shop. They weren't super popular, but they were doable. Let's go blue. I think this would be pretty, even though I left a little white and I want the brown. I want to get a little bit more blue in it. And I do love that the speckled egg has a tealy blue feel. It's not blue. It's not that country blue, French blue. Which we, sure, I have a lot of, come to find out. So I'm going to do just that, maybe, just blossom. Is it too obvious? Is it too... I mean, I could go lower, but no one's going to know. I feel like if it was not sort of tucked up underneath here, it's not really on point either, but... do I give it more oomph? Do I give it more something? Do I, give it more... I don't know. It feels very printed. It doesn't feel as natural. Sometimes you can blend it in and it feels part of the cluster and you're like, okay, it's all good. Other times, sorry, I don't really like the brown. Other times it just doesn't work for you. You're like, I don't feel like that overlaps and so it looks cute. It's going to be nice, but I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ink it. I'm going to give it right back. But there's a difference between a well, that helps. Only that helped a little bit because I was like, oh, that's just too new. I think we'll just tuck it up underneath. We'll just do that. We'll tuck it right there. Because in the garden, when you're doing a garden stroll, you're looking at things blooming and stuff. And so this is blossoms, and this is all about flowers. So it makes sense, right? I'm trying to keep my fingers clean. Haha. I realize my sweater isn't a disaster. I shouldn't have it. Oh, there we go. Try to keep those out of the But when you're on a time crunch, you don't mess around. Okay, let's do and do. Okay, there we go. Okay, I like that. That works. That is really cute. A lot of picking up on the creams and the beiges that we're using, the pinks and the greens. And it gets tucked right in here. So here you have this beautiful ladies. And we are going to put this right in here. A little temperamental. I may have to do some more gluing. You get a hint of it. But yeah, I think we're going to need to do a little more gluing. Like I said, this wasn't meant to be really sticking up or anything. So we are going to make sure that these layers stay glued down. I got the first section pretty easily in, but that end actually had a slight hiccup. So there we go. Much as I like to mention, we don't want anything to get caught, so we'll keep an eye on that. Anything that feels too loosey-goosey, we're gonna work on. That's the other thing I noticed. That is still sticking up. This right here is a little still... there we go. I'm like, ah. Okay, so, yeah, just angle it back. There we go. Lovely. Ta-da! And there's room in there. That's the nice part. There is room for that. But I couldn't get much more than that. And I couldn't do too much more than that. Okay, so there's that. Nice. Now, everything we're going to do for this card is definitely up here on the top. So I'm stoked that we're not going to crazy on that. So this one, I found the blue roses, which I love. We're going to go right here because literally the pocket comes up to here. So we don't want anything too busy. Now the back of this, I actually had more fun with the idea of the back of this journal card than the front where we actually write. I have a couple different things I want to do to it. And then I realized as I was going that I was like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to put that, I'm going to do this. And then I realized, wait, that's the back. This is what we write on. That's the side we write on. Maybe not. Let's make sure there's a flat side and a not so flat side, really. Okay, so I'm going to get that up there. Beautiful. These are 1 1¼ inch. Yeah, they're not 1.5 or close to 1.5. Is this 1.5? Let's see. This is almost 1.5 inch trim, lace trim. Floral, scallop floral lace trim. We have this in a pretty pink. We have this pretty Tiffany blue. Pale Tiffany blue. And then we have it in navy blue too now. So it's really pretty. See, the back is writable like we did, right? This was one of those we didn't get to do at the last minute, but I was just going to slap it on and be good. And so this morning I was like, oh, I better get those ready. And then I was like, oh, I have it. And then the ideas started flowing. I was like, oh, well, then that's what we need to do, right? Now, these are my lovely ornate, one of my ornate word labels. I love this thing. Now, you can cut it perfectly square like you saw. I love to actually sort of fussy cut around the design. That is the nice thing about these. I love because you can leave it you can perfectly square it around the design, or you can do what I'm doing. And I love, sometimes I cut that square, that dot off, that little thing off. Sometimes I leave it. But anyway, I have fun doing this. This is, I don't know, this is my thing. It gives me personality and whatnot. And so, oh, there we go. See, and a little ink, and it's beautiful. Now I can either go pink or both. Do pink to get a little bit of a shadow. I can do the brown if I want to. I know, ladies, for some reason, I hate that. I don't know what happened. I accidentally swapped my lavender and my pink, and I went to go do to pink up the backside of one of these. And, oh, that's right. That's what the other one is. I didn't even show you guys the backside of that other card. It is just pink, though. It's just a pink backing for writing. So it's nice and simple, but it was leftover pink. I forgot about that. Yeah, so this one is the one where I put a, see, it's just, okay, so that's just pink on the back. Well, yeah, I sort of showed you guys when I showed this, yeah. So pink paper here, this one here, and I have a packaging in between because I felt that 2 pieces of paper that weren't cardstock wasn't going to be enough. That's right. That's the one that's doubled up that I mentioned last time that I was like, oh, yeah, you know, when we get to it, you know, I'm just going to use the packaging in a way to just, try to go side edge that kept bending up. It's not going to be enough on its own, so, you know, we need to do something with it. So let's use up the packaging and make it worthwhile. So I'm going to do this here, and we'll put some pearls like this way, sort of give us a little header kind of deal. So that we have something pretty above here. I put Manor House because, well, you know, they're maybe they're at the house and they're reading, and of course you have gorgeous gardens at the manor, right? But this was one of those words that came from, I don't think it's royal. I think I have I have a couple. I don't know. I have a number of pink and blue and pink and beige word sets that are royal fashion. I think a royal fashion group that has both your Edwardian and your Jane Austen and all those feels that go together. So, I need my stickies. What did I do with my sticky ones? Yes. These are great. They're pretty sticky, so I just do a nice little row. So 2, 4, 2, 4, 5. Just a little bit on each side. I don't go 7, I don't think. I don't think I want that much. I need both sides, so that works. I'd say 2, 4, and 5. I always think I get it, and then I realize I end up doing doubles by accident. Yes, okay. I count by 2s for a lot of things, so I get sidetracked when I'm like, oh, that was not supposed to be by 2s. I need an odd number. So I'm going to grab this for a second, but they're on a long, sticky tape, which is great. So you can keep, when you want to keep them together, it sort of has it all ready to go for you. You don't have to do much. I like the string ones when I want space. The ones we have on strings are nice when I want that a little bit more space in them. But these guys, I want a little more, like a strand of beads, a strand of pearls, I guess. There we go. Ta-da, there he is. Ugh. Ta-da. Okay, there's that. So there's the front. Wish I could do more, but I don't know. I feel that's a centerpiece, right? So we're sort of giving it a little bit of a decor here. But the back, I ended up realizing I wanted to go use the back, and I think I was gonna cut it short. I needed all the space. I want to make sure this stood up above the pocket, right? So I was like, well, that's gonna be a problem. So cut the hole that was here. I was gonna use our cutter, but it was a much smaller tag hole than what was in this, and it looked fun. It was gonna look funny, so I was like, no, let's do this a different way. So I used what was there so we can put stuff through it. I deckled down here. We're going to lace up here, and then we're going to put, with pearls, we are going to actually do a little bit of the chiffon, 1 or 2. I think we'll just do 2 light. I don't think I want the bright one, not because there's so little on the other side of it. We're going to use a little bit of this. I don't have any skinnies. No, we'll make a skinny strip or whatever. But we're going to do a little bit of this, and we're going to give us our tag card tail up here with that. We'll put lace underneath, a little bit of pearls underneath it, but we're going to lace across the top of this one. I mean, I could leave it, but there's a little bit of the packaging still showing, and I don't want that. So I figured to give the other side actually some more oomph too, is that we would glue this one down here. It would stick up on the other side a little bit, which gives us another layer. Of course, the dog's barking because there are people out front. I don't know if it's a utility quest guy. I don't know if he's eyeballing the water or whether he's getting something done for the neighbors. I have no idea. But next door, the other side of my next door neighbor, that poor girl, she's like, no, there's people out front. There's people out front. There's not supposed to be people out front. So we're gonna go just shy of the dot or the hole. I really should be not using those. Yeah, your paper dulls your fabric scissors, but fabric doesn't help always with, Okay, so there's that. I know, a little off, but I think with what's going through it and changing it, and not quite but it helps pull this feel that we have inward with this. It will stick out a little bit, but it won't stick out above some aspects of the book, so that's cool. Now, I think we're just going to do a little bit. I don't want to do too much. I don't want that one. I can cut it once it goes through and it's glued down to give it more of a tail. Instead of just making small pieces, I just do this, and I want to go up here with it. And I glue it at an angle, and I do all this fun stuff, and then I strip it and tear it and whatever. But sort of do this. This is all I want to do with it. Now this is definitely fabric tack because you're putting it on lace, you're putting it on itself, on each other. I just want to make sure that it sticks in place. Instead of using, what's the word? Instead of using a staple or whatever, because I'm not actually going to cover up where these guys connect. There we go. I'm, gluing it to itself. We're going to do it this way. Okay, I'll go that way, that one. Now, of course, if it comes to some point where I realize that just doesn't look great and I feel we need something. Now, this is where I could put pearls right here on both. I could put pearls on both sides if that felt it made more sense. That would give us a nice, it would look like it's clamped down with something by putting a string of pearls there, actually. So I'm going it tight up against at an angle on both sides in different directions. Or actually telling that it's getting in the same direction but different sides. Dogs. There we go. It's fine. Yeah, let go. So by doing that nice and tight, I've got them going in two directions. Now I can cut and rip, and I don't think it tears. I don't know if it tears this way. It's frayed, but that doesn't mean it tears. Let's see. Yeah, no. Chiffon does not tear like some fabrics, or if it does, it's in the other direction. I can, a little bit on the edges, do some, weird fray work to it, but not a whole lot, I noticed. I can pull out the fabric and get it to fray as if it was on, I did it to both, and I feel like I gotta go down a little farther to where it was glued. So it looks like I have 4 separate whatever, but it really is all right here. So yeah, I think we do need some pearls here or something because so it looks like it's clasped. Definitely need to do that. Definitely need to do it. So I'm cutting all the way down to where I need to. It's a little bit of an angle. It doesn't have to be perfect. They don't have to be the same width. Messy is sort of nice. There we go. And then I am letting it, since I can't tear it, I am definitely doing something else with it. Okay, so then we have this little floofy pom-pom thing. I did that with the Christmas one. Same thing, I sort of the same concept, but I think I had one more color or one more piece in there. But okay, so ooh, I wonder, I haven't really used gold yet, but I was wondering, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I wonder if, this is at an angle. I'd have to cut a really small piece. I was like, what if we did a little something more like that? But feels too much. Where's my pearls? So we can keep up with the pearl thing and go, I know I did went a little far over on that one, but do I go all the way over? Do I go bigger? Ooh, like we could do the 4 from the inside. I could do these guys. These 3 across would be a little wider and more like, it reminds me of like a hair clip, a hair brooch hair clip that we used to use way back when. I probably have one somewhere. Where is that? That is, aha. I have 2 types, and maybe we can go a little fancier. I actually have these. They're strong. They're pretty. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that would actually be really pretty. Okay. More glue. More glue, more glue, more glue. But you're giving it a nice little, you're giving your tag. Now this tag, tags usually have more angled corners, but this is a little bit more of a square one, and that's okay too. Now, the only thing with these string ones is I do try to get these excess little guys off the top. I do not like when they're cut the other way. I don't like when there's fluff left over. I really don't want to know that that's there. But we always cut it so tight to the first one that we're using that we always leave something behind. So, yeah, it's hard. I have slightly smaller scissors if I absolutely have to, but I don't know if there'll be any help. All right. It's a little, it's okay. There we go. Now that on both sides, well, that's pretty, it's a little off-centered, but so is the, it's how it goes on both ways. But you can either clump them together and make the string sort of disappear, which is what I did, but those a little closer together, high and low, works really well, and that's very pretty. And in the back, And it's not much because your writing is down here. Nothing bulky up here is getting in the way of your writing down here. Now I can go simpler back here because I was going to put pearls down here like we had on the front. And yeah, those are just too lightweight. I really like these. Okay. Sorry, I'm moving my glitter, my glue mat everywhere. We're going to go here and we're going to go here. And the fact that even though there are strings, we can sort of bump them up against each other and make those strings disappear, but keep them together so that makes it easier to glue. Is really pretty. Since there is some white tone in the lace here, the lace digital, it's sort of helping me, letting me bring this white in place. And pearls are supposed to be white, and that's okay, right? Even if you have a cream colored whatever, white is still okay. So we're gonna hold for a second because you're not holding. But it brings, this is a blue tone, this is a blue tone, you know, everything has sort of a nice matchy, I guess. And then you have this. Now, I could make that a little bit more whatever by grabbing this, because they feel a little long. So I'm thinking I'm just going to pull them up like you would bang sort of and just trim. I've used probably these shears on paper too much. I feel like they're starting to stick. It's my bad. I know better. But chiffon also might be really hard to... Why are you not cutting? One, they're tight, which is weird. Like I caught them on something. Like they're really only cutting in the bottom. They're not cutting at all the top. So I wonder if I need to do some foil or something and see if I can... Yeah, I probably have cut a few too many pieces of paper with these, and I probably shouldn't have, but I can't help it when we use this. Hold on one sec. We have definitely, you know, we definitely like the feel, the look for many things. So it's like, well, I'm gonna get myself a secondary pair, a brand new pair for fabric only, like we do with everything else, and leave these for paper as we go along. It's almost like they don't line up. It's weird. Okay, I'll have to look into that and see. Okay, but anyway, I took a little weight off and just made it a little, continued to make it a little messier again, I see. I'm not trying to cut it, I'm just, yeah, I didn't cut, and I've got this mess going on. Weirder mess than I expected, so, let's make some more. I'm trying to see if I can catch it and get it off. Alright, there we go. Well, it is what it is, right? There we go. Isn't that pretty? Well, hair, like a hairpiece, right? A headpiece that we're doing, and it's all messy and pretty and beautiful. So there's your front, there's the back, and let's tuck it in so you can see how it stands up in the, stands up in its pocket. So she's on the front, which is great. We're bringing that in, right? We've got this, we're continuing. They are, oh no, we didn't do that one. So the nice part is that it's very different. So I use the same chiffon to make some things. So we do have to glue that down. I got one side, not the rest. Yeah, so this needs all, because it's going to get caught on such a thin, these glassine bags, you know, aren't gusseted. And so they are just a, you know, two pieces of paper together at an angle on the bottom. There's not a lot of maneuvering room. So what goes in here has to be pretty good. Yeah, it's right there. Okay. I always think it should go in farther. And I could have taken it, I could have cut that off, made it shorter. It does stick out a little bit. It's no taller though than the back of this. So when you go here, the card itself doesn't stick out, just this stuff, which when you do that, we have this. So if you get it and it bugs you, you can always cut it down shorter and make it really fuzzy up there. You could go even like really go short and just keep it really, really fuzzy on the top. And that would work too. Like it's totally up to you. If you just want that little bit of pink, you can really cut it short if you don't want it to stick out. But no matter which way you look at it, you see something really pretty right here, which is nice for everything that we're doing, right? So I just need that to sit down a little bit farther. All right, so we have flowers on one. We have lace, pearls, and chiffon. Frayed chiffon on another. Right, there we go. Manor House right above there. Reading list. Piece of paper in here that I probably need to do more. Yeah, I need to ink it blue, I guess. Yeah, no. Where's my, there it is. Yeah. Oh, this is a replica. This is just a little, it's in, is it French? Yes, potentially French. Ephemera, scan that was shrunk. Definitely shrunk. But it was perfect size. I thought it'd be cute just to add in here. And the white background. So again, you rough it up, you let it crinkle, ink it, and you've got this sort of paper journaling space in the pocket. You can write whatever you want in the back of it. You can tuck it into something else. You can move it around. It definitely has. I'm going to increase it just a little bit, right? So it's not perfect all the way around, but there we go. And it sits in here nicely. So we have a little ink and all is good. I swear I glued this down, but let's do a little bit more. All right. That is the hard part, is the glassine bags and some of the paper bags sometimes don't take. Like, it takes a few times to get the glue going. Okay, so there we go. We have that now. So this one definitely needs to be, decorated up here. It's just a simple flower on the bottom. And I could flip it around if I really didn't want to do anything. I could just do that, where we have, very floral, ready to go, beautiful spacing to right here, which, yeah, this I need to put a blue piece of paper on the back. So that's bugging me. So we're going to get a little trimmed Eco Dye blue on the back here. And then you have both sides to write on. So let's do that. Let's flip that around. A little bit of an upside down flower. But we're going to have the same thing inside. So here, our flower, even though we're going to design it with a horizontal option to write on, it's going to go in vertical also. So that's okay. So let's work on that next. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we're probably done for the day. So this definitely needs ink. And I really don't, I think Antique's the best we've got. I mean, I have my Smoky, but I don't think it's going to do anything more than actually white, like highlight it instead of distress it. It's not going to do it the other way. So we want to go the other way with it. So the brown is okay. It's a beautiful gray that's in the kits. I don't even know, I don't think we have any more of this gray, actually. I believe someone asked for a special order and I had extra. So when I made the new kits, I think I have a darker gray in our index card kits. We're down to 10 beautiful colors. You get 4, I think 5 of each color. But things have definitely thinned out. So I have to decide once we sell out whether I go back for this beautiful kit. It was fun. They're nice, lightweight. They're really easy to use. They're great little index card sheets. I call them sheets because they're not a cardstock. But it's great for, like in this case, where I have a very tight pocket. And this is going to allow us with the corners to slip it in. And then you can pull it out and you can write on it and tuck it back in. No different than that piece of paper I just worked with, right? So now the only difference is because it is on the top side, I'm going to put a little bit of mesh behind this, whether it be tulle or mesh, to have it have a little bit more oomph. Now I can either do, this is definitely more a country blue, not so much a teal blue, but I think with this gray, it's really pretty. So we can make it very mild and it doesn't stick out that much. Like it's not obviously, it's texture, it's not color, because it really does blend in beautifully with the card. So I can take it, sort of scrunch it, put it down, glue it down, and gives a little bit of texture behind this. Or we can be definitely more obvious, pink on pink with the snow. And and we do it that way. So it gives it sort of a speckled, and because it's pink and this is darker, definitely you really see just the white speckle behind it more than anything, or a combination of both. I just don't want to get it too bulky. So if I do this one, I definitely need to cut raggedly, give us that white sparkle in 2 places, and then maybe you can do a little something, a little bit of a something here with the blue word. So maybe we go pink on pink, blue on blue. Do it more like that. Let's try that. Okay. I'm just going to do it, right? So, and this doesn't really rip. Yeah, it sort of rips. Let's see. I can get it to rip a little. And it actually rips pretty cleanly. I'm like, it rips. Well, yeah, where I don't want it to rip, it doesn't rip the direction I want it to. Of course. Why would it do that? Yeah, I was sort of hoping to be more edgy. I don't like really clean cut stuff. I want to make sure that if we have it behind something, it's sort of like the fussy cut. It sticks out in different spots, so it's not a perfect anything. And that's actually not bad. It doesn't have to be as much as I expected. I was hoping for a little bit more, but that allows us to then maybe put the other thing there. So come on. I know. I'm so glad Mom gave me that little vacuum, because yeah, I'm trying to every couple days now between Happy Planner and this, making sure I pick all my stuff up and I vacuum up all the little pieces and all the, you know, the residual from the, like, whether it's a glue or whether it's, you know, something. I'm like, no, we need to get all this little fuzzy stuff, fuzzy, you know, like I rub off all the glue and then you have all this stuff hanging out. Or like I do my planners and all of a sudden I have, you know, what's the word? I have the word in my head. Eraser, you know, stuff. So yeah, I have a lot of this. So right now I'm creating something that, you know, needs to be dealt with. So, there we go. Okay, so now some of this is going to stay pretty clean and I'm not going to let it stick out. We were talking about this one. I might just let it a little bit hang over because I believe it's not going to get in the way of the pocket, so I don't mind. But we do need to glue down other bits. Like, I do want other stuff down. This is not one I want sticking up in any manner. I want to make sure nothing's really in the way. So in case this tucks down in such a tight spot that we don't have any problems. Now, I do need to check that. I realize I need to see just how far down this goes before I decide to put that word and where I put the mesh with that word. Because this is a very tight pocket. I did the card, I covered it. And then when we were cutting out paper, I saw the chair and it looked like sort of a wrought iron fence feel. It's the chair, but the way I did it, it feels more chair / maybe wrought iron fence. That's the right word. And so, anyway, I thought it sort of made a fun pocket. I totally forgot about it until we were doing stuff. And so I want to make sure, I don't have to tuck it all the way down, but that what we do. So the word I was going to put in here, which I was going to go horizontal with, it's like, do I do it this way to match the positioning of the pocket, or do I match it to the positioning of the journal card? Because when you pull it out, this is the direction. So you could write here and you write horizontally here. So, that's sort of the thing, huh? You design both ways, right? I saw people design their journal cards and they stick it in the pocket. They don't care, and it's, you know, it can be a little hard. This is definitely doesn't go down very far because it really is tight. So it's a little interesting. I so want to. I was trying to do it so that the card didn't seem too weird, but I guess you can go either way. You know, we can do it, and it just means when you pull it out, yeah, you turn it sideways, and it has a secret note in there, and it's okay. It doesn't have to be the direction of, right? Oh, I got to corner that one. I was like, what's wrong with that? Let's see here. It's always nice when you sort of yank on it, and you get this nice, lovely mess of a mesh. Can't really see it. It really isn't there. I have to really bunch it up and you might see it, you know. I wish you guys could say, design it to the card or design it to the pocket, right? I wish you could tell me, but what can you do? Once it's done, it's done. And again, you do it. It makes you want to pull it out, I guess, and go, what's up with it? Can't get that corner done. I'm like, wait, that doesn't have that. And I knew that if I didn't corner the bottoms, there was no way that thing was going in at all. Absolutely no way this was going to fit inside if I didn't corner it. So, all right. Ooh, glue and nail polish. That's always a nice mix, right? Yeah. I don't know. I had a clear nail polish, a keratin nail polish on to help them strengthen them up, and just put glitter over the top of them. And you saw them briefly. And they lasted forever. The nail polish didn't come out. They were nice and strong. And I bought this new botanical. It's a botanical nail polish supposed to help. It's supposed to help heal. And it's a nail serum and nail polish in one and color and blah, 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 blah. And I don't know, people. It's not definitely strengthening. It's not thick enough to really, even though I try to put it on thick, it doesn't really, I turn that up, I turn that right side up. Oh, it doesn't really help protect. I mean, they bend, they still chip, and I'm like, it's just another nail polish. It really is. I mean, it may be totally vegan, cruelty, whatever, free, but it's not, really anything much. Let's get my, okay, there we go. Bunch it up in some manner that it might stay. And it's just a hint of a blue. Really, it's just a hint of a blue behind it. And that's okay. It really was just giving it a little bit of oomph and maybe a little bit of a direction. Wasn't sure if it was just going to be enough texture or not. I want to glue that down. That's fine. Now we know because it's above it, I could put something in the middle of the flower, right at the edge of it, but it doesn't quite line up. So no, I think we're going to leave it. We'll keep it simple because it is thin. We want to make sure it's easy to write on the back all the way across. Has dreams, so you can do it here, right? You can write all on the back of it, but at least what you're writing is hidden. It's staying behind the fence, behind the chair, behind the fence, however you want to put it, however you see that. But it's nice in the grays. Pulls the gray from here, but pulls the pink from here. So gray and teal, gray and pink, more color. There we go. So that's something as simple as that. It's a fussy cut and a word and some mesh, and you can decorate up a journal card, right? Doesn't take much. Doesn't have to be full printed or scrapbook on a page that's all decorative. Sometimes just finding that extra scrap and going, oh, and the way I cut it, it was like, it fit perfectly in this corner. I was going to do it this way upright, and I was like, wait, make it horizontal. It's perfect in that corner. You can write over here, and that writing now is tucked in as, secret. It's tucked in as a secret in your little journal pocket here. There we go. I wouldn't go too much farther than that, and you're set. So that one's done. That one's done. That one has something in it. I haven't decided how much we're going to decorate. It's inked in that sense. We do need to put something flat here, so when I do the ephemera over here, I will definitely, hopefully, I have fussy cuts for this kit. I've had this kit for so long. We will do something large here. We'll put a girl, a woman, a flower, one of the clusters, a urn, something will go on top of that. And then makes it real easy just to slip back in here so we can write on the back, right? This is writing, that is writing. This needs decor. I feel like I have some spots here that need nothing too bulky because this is already sitting on top of it. But like, we need to put something here, but it has a huge piece of paper. She's very prominent. Not so much here. You can decorate as you see fit, but this allows you to write, another writing space. So the journal has its usual 60 pages, and you're going to have, extra things here to write on and write in. So we have that filled now. That has something she's filled. That has something filled. That has something filled. Right, that's a little extra decor. This is what we cut off, and I just sort of gave it some depth. The back, okay, so this is where, see, we could keep going, but I believe I'm out of time, and I believe that's what I was going to, you know what, I think I stole my thunder, and I put the flowers on the wrong urn. Did I do what I think I did? Well, sort of. We could continue with that flower feel over here. This is what the idea was. I thought here I would put flowers. So maybe there's some fussy cuts I can layer up over here. And I can do that floral thing, but we can give it a little bit of dimension on this side over here with maybe some of the fussy cuts and some of the flowers that are sitting in here instead of an actual hard copy, right? And so I did add the extra journal cards over here for now until I got this under wraps. So if we have some extra pockets, I definitely have some journals. So this one, I think we were thinking an extra fluff, some, and a vertical word and some decor up here. So those two are definitely something I'll do off camera along with whatever we decide to put on these as we're working on this. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're good for the day. What do you think? I think we're doing good. So there you go. We have a thin card with a little fussy cut. We have actual hard copy, hard paper flowers, and yarn to enhance the urn, to make it actually a floral blooming urn on a double-sided paper with packing pressboard in between to make it a nice stout, sturdy journal card that goes in an envelope, which has the room to do so. And then we have another large one that paper on one side, writing on the other, but we've done this beautiful header to it that makes it hopefully really feel like it's heading towards our Victorian and Regency and Edwardian and all that beautiful time when, you know, I don't know, you're just going for a stroll in the garden was an outing and an event, and just such a lovely thing. So we need to do it more often. We really do, ladies and gentlemen. So I love you all very much. Thank you so much for joining me on this lovely Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning. And we will be back Thursday with showing some show and tell with whatever else I've worked on, finished, and whatnot. And Saturday we will work on how to do digitals. When, you know, last Saturday was taking scraps and paper and packaging and turning it into ephemera. We will use digital ephemera, printed and cut, and how you can utilize that in maybe some different ways inside a digital printed journal. So there we go. Aspects all around. So love you all very much. Thank you so much for watching, liking, loving, commenting, making sure your notifications when you follow it, once you start following, and that you don't miss those little moments when they come around. So talk to you all real soon. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.